What's up everyone and welcome to Crypto Grinders channel, aka Ryan here, and today, we'll be looking and discussing about day trading in cryptocurrencies. Now, everyone in the Telegram chat has been asking about it over and over again, and I think day trading is, very, very essential. I don't know, to me, right, it seems rather speculative, but today I brought a very, very good friend of mine who I've known, for a couple of years now, and we started off in internet marketing, and network marketing. And then from then, we stumbled upon cryptocurrencies just last year in February. All right, and I actually shared cryptocurrencies with Andy here, and Andy and I, of course, we are both from the financial industry. That's how we kind of hit it off, and at the same time also, but we both represented, of course, different companies, but we did do financial advisory for our clientels, right? So usually they are high net worth, and the most important thing about investing or trading, I think, is to be disciplined, or at least to have a financial objective and a plan. Most people, I realize, who start off in crypto, they don't really have a plan. They just want to make money, but they don't know why are they getting themselves into a particular cryptocurrency. Neither do they know what are the price points that they should enter. And if they are in a trade that is actually losing money, they don't really know what they should do. They usually panic and they panic sell. And all these things are so different in terms of the way that you approach trading, right? So I brought someone who is just much more versed in this area, because Andy here, he does forex trading. So although he has a full-time job, he actually day trades. So that's something that's very unique, because we all want to have that kind of income coming in apart from our day jobs. And Andy does it to a T, and that's what I respect about Andy, because I've seen his forex platform, or his forex account, grow on a very consistent basis. And that's something that I admire, because we are looking at consistency. Because if you're talking about really huge swings in either the forex markets because of margin, or the volatility in the cryptocurrency markets, you need to consistently perform. And that is so difficult, right? Because when you're talking about making money, and there's also the fact that you could also lose money. Okay, it swings both ways. And most of the time, I notice a lot of people are losing money because they panic. They jump from one crypto to another, hoping to catch the momentum without having really a proper game plan. It's like running around like a headless chicken. So I took the liberty of inviting Andy here today to come down and address all my lovely subscribers about cryptocurrency and day trading in cryptocurrency. So without further ado, Andy, please take it away.
Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, my name is Andy. 28 this year. So I met Ryan, like he said, about 2 years ago. And since then we've been working on a few projects here and there. Alright. And when he introduced me to crypto, oh wow, that totally changed my mind. It blew my mind, in fact. And since then, I've been in for the last 3 to 5 months, and I've been making quite a lot, okay, because of his teachings, his guidance, and because of what I've learned before, and I just adapt into the crypto market. Now, of course, I would like to thank him for inviting me to share these tips with you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be very transparent. Okay, I'm gonna share with you as much as I can, and this could be a 20 to 30 minute session. This could take quite a while. So do sit in, okay, do take some notes if you need to, and I'm gonna share with you certain tips that you can carry with you. All right, so at least you have a strong foundation to build on, then you can build your account in crypto. All right, so without further ado, okay, I'm gonna start with a certain parts, small sections on education, and also on the crypto or setting trade plans and all. Alright, so, excuse me. So I began forex trading about 3 to 4 years ago. One of my good friends actually talked to me about it. Alright, so I was, hey, forex trading seems like you can make a lot of money from it. And that's what everyone says, alright? Somehow everyone says the same thing. So I tried, okay, but of course I lost money, right? And I didn't know how to do it. And I was flustered. right? That what normal people would be. So I went and read up a lot on it. I started reading on fundamentals, started reading on technical, and finally, I would say after about 2-3 years of research, and study and looking at charts, I finally figured it out. So what I'm about to share with you, it's my 3 to 4 years of experience, deep in the trenches, day in, day out, every single day, even on the weekends, I'm there learning how to trade. Okay, I'm looking at the charts, I'm reading what's gonna happen in the next week, and these are some of the daily things that I do or discipline that I have that got me to where I am today. Alright, so and how am I going to adapt all these trading plans and strategies into crypto? I'm going to share that as well with all of you. Alright, so Ryan actually specifically asked me to share about the macro market that's going on right now, and I think it's a good juncture that I would share that with you right now. Alright, Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, you got to explain macro to the people, like what is the difference between macro and microeconomics, just for the ones who are really new to trading and why it even matters, right?
Great. So this is my perspective. Okay. I mean, there are many traders out there who are much better than me, but it's just my perspective or my way of seeing it. So macroecons. Microecons, right? Let's talk about macro first. So macro is talking about big things. We talk about GDP, we talk about retail sales, we talk about job losses, unemployment rate. These are all the macro facts. Okay. Now, when it comes to micro, it's much like you are looking at a single entity, like a single company, like how is Apple performing, how is Amazon performing, how is Walmart behaving, how are they doing. And when you couple all of them together, it becomes the S&P, it becomes the Nasdaq, and then that becomes the macro point of view of how the economy is moving. So this is how I look at things. Now, when you move macro and micro into crypto, it's almost the same thing. Now think about it this way. Let's take a coin, for example. Let's take a token, say Ethereum. All right, since everyone loves Ethereum nowadays. So Ethereum has a good, pretty cool micro. All right, people know about it. People know that it's working. He has a huge enterprise working. Many big companies, JP Morgan, Toyota, whatever. So these are the macro perspective of what's happening to Ethereum. Now, when it comes to micro, it's what's happening within the blockchain, what's happening within the project. Now, a lot of people skip both the macro and the micro because they're just looking at the hype of the coin. They say, hey, wow, this particular coin went up by 50, 100%, I'm in, okay? And they always go in and enter at the wrong price. All right, so, and then that bites them later on. So then it goes back to your trading plan. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about trading plan later. So this is macro and micro, the basic layman way of looking at things. All right. So Ryan, do you want me to share about what's happening right now? Or?
Yeah, I think it would be good to allow the audience to understand. For example, like whatever macro data that you use for your trading, how can that apply to cryptocurrencies?
Okay. In general, to be really honest, okay, now when you read certain news, like in fact the last Friday, when there's a US, the job losses are high, and it's not doing that well, and politically, to be honest, US market is not doing that well, right? I'm not going to point out who, most of you should know who, yeah, I'm just saying that it's politically there's a huge turmoil going on, and coupled with the terrorist attack in London over the weekends, forex market is taking a big hit, all right? And so certain currencies like yen and Swiss franc and gold are definitely on the rise because they are the so-called hedge against any risk, right? So Bitcoin, there are two ways of looking at things. Okay, Bitcoin can also play as a digital currency. That's what Japan is doing to it right now. And the second way is looking at it is a hedge, okay, in terms of risk. All right, so people are looking at it as a hedge against risk. So they will take it because it's risk off, right? Because Bitcoin is safe, okay, it's less volatile and so on and so forth. That's what people believe and perceive, and that's why people are getting into the Bitcoin. And you are looking at the Bitcoin prices over the weekend. If you do, okay, over the Saturday, since this previous Saturday all the way to now, it's been on the rise. In fact, it's rising about $100 per day. It's also because of political turmoil, things that's going on, and also because of media attention. So when I put things into perspective, the US economy or the economy in the world, it doesn't really have a huge impact on Bitcoin prices because now it's driven by media attention and it's driven by price rallies. Okay, it's driven by altcoins or how the coins are doing in general. So when I look at how Bitcoin is behaving, you gotta look at dominance of it. Who is dominating the Bitcoin? Who is holding on to most of the supply? Now, if let's say China, for instance, like BTCC, OKCoin, and those that have launched last week, you see there was not much difference in Ethereum pricing, even though it rises up a little. So it's the same thing as it's all about speculation here, everyone. So this is not listed, it is decentralized, it is all based on speculations. No big major economy or whales, or what Ryan always calls whales, are affecting Bitcoin prices. It's just a huge rally by everyone believing that it is more valuable now. So that's the reason why it's doubled the price of gold, you know, in the last few months or so. Yeah, so that's why I believe it's going to happen. You're just going to gain more media attention, and then it will go up, and then it will correct accordingly. And once 1st August comes, the soft fork, wow, that will be the test for Bitcoin. Yeah, definitely. Right, Ryan?
Yep. So I think the users will want to know what are your the day trading strategies that you use, or what kind of routines that you take before you decide on a particular trade, right?
Okay.
So I think that's a very, very important question. So let's go into that, and probably if you have some charts that you want to show, for example, I think that would be pretty good.
Right. Okay, great. So this is a valid question. This is one of the best questions asked, right? Which coin to get in? What exactly do I do? Okay, so here's the thing. All right. So what I'll normally do is this. Okay, I'm gonna share screen right now with all of you. So just to show you what I'm actually up to. Okay. Cool. Okay. Can you all see it? Right?
Yep.
Cool.
Clear.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is Poloniex, right? I think some of you uses it as well, or you use Bittrex. I have both, all right. And I'm gonna talk about how I use both Bittrex and Poloniex to diversify my portfolio, all right. But before that, this is what I do first thing in the morning, all right. So I will always go to this place, all right. I think most of you are familiar with CoinMarketCap. And I will look at the market cap, I look at the volume, I look at the BTC dominance. Now, the BTC dominance tells me how the altcoins are doing. Okay, now if let's say BTC dominance over 50%, I would know that the altcoins are not doing that well. Alright, it's a very simple thing to look at. Now, and then I would scroll through, alright, only the top 10 and 20. Now, a lot of you in the Telegram chat has been looking at top 10 and 20. That's good. But there's a lot of people who start looking at ICO, Factum, and all the random coins that's upcoming, Verge, Aragon. Okay, I've seen and I've heard quite a lot about it, or even Peercoin that came up from nowhere. So I would naturally say that I would definitely be looking at all the top 10 and 20s most of the time. Now, there are a few rules and regulations, or I would say trading plans that I follow. Okay, these are certain criteria that me and Ryan, we have come up together, and of course I have fine-tuned certain bits of it. And so I'm just going to share about 3 main tips of mine. Okay, there'll be more coming up in my next time my YouTube channel. But the first top 10 and 20 is what I look at. Okay, and then the next thing I really look at is actually the price, right? And of course the circulating supply. So you want to know how many coins are circulating around. You want to know, in comparison between the price and also the circulating supply, does it make sense or not? All right, so for instance, let's say you look at Ripple. Okay, so Ripple is now worth 28 cents. Okay, that will mean, but it's out of so many Ripple coins. So meaning to say each value of a coin is actually lower than how you will actually hold one Litecoin in comparison. Okay, and then the next thing I will really look at is this thing called competition. Now, this is something I really look at it hugely, or largely. Most of my trades are based on that. Now, for instance, when we look at payment processors, okay, now we know that the decentralization of cryptocurrency is the main attraction why it has become a huge financial payment system. We look at Ripple, we look at Litecoin, we look at Stratis, we talk about Bitcoin, we talk about maybe Sia Coin, okay, Stellar Lumens, and all these coins, or even maybe Genosis, right? Okay, maybe not. They are all talking about payment processors or payment systems or along that line. So I would know in the top 10 and 20, almost 6, or let me think, almost about 30% of them are payment processors or payment systems. So I would know there's a huge competition going on here, and so that's why you see the prices are pretty consolidated. Okay, it can't really push off because there's no USP, there's no unique selling point. Now, of course, some people argue with me that, hey, Ripple has many companies backing it, and many banks. Yeah, I would agree, but overall, it's still the same thing, right? The business model is still the same. So this is a value investing model. You look at the business model, and then you look at the founders of it. You look at who is running the whole thing, who is the developer team. So for instance, Ethereum Classic has a strong development team, right? It has 3 strong teams and everyone's pushing it, right? But it's not, the price is not there yet, okay? So another way of looking at things, take for example, let's just say maybe Augur, right? It's in a prediction market system, right? It's a prediction market industry. In the top 20, as of now, Augur is the only one, right? So there's less competition for it. So this is what I look at, the telltale sign of what's going to become the next big thing, okay? Now, of course, sometimes crypto market don't behave like a normal stock or like a normal currency, okay? They stray at times, right? Sometimes there can be a new coin that came from nowhere, say, for instance, Waves or Stratus or the Bitcoin, right? And even Siacoin, right? You don't know where it came from and it suddenly, boom, and it became a top 10 and 20. Now, I don't look at coins. This is my rule. I play according to my game plan. I don't play coins or I don't even look at it if they are less than 1 year to 2 years old. Okay, in fact, it's 2 years. I only look at coins or tokens that are at least 2 years with some history going on, some chart that I can look at, and some analysis that I can make. If not, I don't think it's a viable option. You know, what if they can come in so fast, so quickly? And what if they fall off in the next month? You never know, right? So, for instance, certain coins will pump. Like, example, Genesis, after ICO, came to the top 20, and now it's struggling at the top 20. So these are certain things that telltale signs that I know that I should be avoiding. And don't buy into hype. Now, this is what me and Ryan always advocate. Don't buy into hype. Why? Because hype only lasts for a while. And yet people buy into it. Why? Because of greed. Maybe because of fear of missing out, I don't know. But I'm not a person that's going to buy into greed, because what's the difference between me and a gambler, right? And then some of you will say, hey, we're all gamblers, right? But yeah, speculation, yes. But certain coins here have a proof of stake, right? It has already been proven. It has certain products up and coming. So I will get into coins like those because they have a more strong foundation in that sense. Okay, and that's what I really look at. Okay, yeah. Where was I? So Ryan, you want to look at the charts, right? You were talking about that.
Yep. So probably want to go into a little bit of charting. I think let me go through some questions. Probably you could just tell the audience or the viewers, how do you decide an entry point for a particular coin? Let's say they ask you about, let's say you decide on a particular coin, say Doge. Why would you enter Doge or Ripple at this current point? And if you did, what would be the indicators for you to make a decision to look at Ripple first? And also, what is the price that you probably queue at, or when would you even hit the market, right? And of course, hit the market means that you're willing to buy it at the current spot price that it's trading at right now. Something like that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I think all of you are very fortunate. You have Ryan here asking me tough questions. So anyway, okay, so what do I normally look at? Now, this is my little tip, okay, of after many months of looking at this particular chart that you see here. Now, I know a lot of people will be looking at the charts here, telling me, hey, you should be looking at candles. Yes, okay, but the first filter that I always have is this portion here. Now, I would look at anywhere, okay, or most coins. Like, remember I told you the first rule is top 10 and 20 with 1 or 2 years of history with a good business model. This is what I look at. And so when I look at all these coins, I'll be looking at the ones with less negativity. So for instance, anything that's below 20% drop is good. Okay, I know this is very kind of like, wow, okay, you kind of don't understand what I mean. So example, anything that's beyond minus 20%, I don't bother about it. Syscoin. Okay, because you never know whether it can recover or not. It may not. It might be just a buy and dump. Anything that's above this percentage, like Stratus, this kind, I won't touch at all. So I'll be looking at certain coins with strong fundamentals. So take, for instance, in this case, Ripple, who's not yet exceeding the minus 20. And perhaps I'll be looking at, say, Steam, right? It's dropping, it's losing its steam, right? But I'll be looking at these coins, and maybe Zcash, for instance. Strong, slow percentages. Now, people always look at those in green, like Factor, Monero, Lisk, Stockcoin. They will always looking at those that's positive. No. Okay, I will always be looking at those that are negative. So that's my first filter. So take, for example, let's say I look at Dogecoin, right? Since it's a personal favorite of Ryan, and so
it's not a personal favorite. It's just it's just a trade. Yeah. It's just a trade.
Yeah, it's just a trade. Okay, it's just Ryan's pet project, I would say. Okay, so in any case, Okay, so now then, okay, hold on. Okay, now the reason why I use Poloniex is because it's easily accessible. Most people will be using it as well. So I will actually share with you how I actually look at the prices. Now, this is Financial 101. This is basic charting, alright? So you should know the support and resistance line. Now, if you don't know what is the support, what's the resistance, you gotta read up. Okay, you gotta know what's those. Those are so crucial when it comes to trading. Now, the first thing you gotta understand about trading or chart reading is human emotions. Now, what technical traders believe and behave is that we always believe that the chart tells a pattern, okay, or the chart tells a story, and that whichever chart you look at tells a story. And these candles here are cumulative of how humans have certain emotions and they play at certain price level, and that's why it forms a line. So take for instance, if let's say we look at this level, okay, 94 satoshis. Now this could be a good support line, okay. So everything that comes here, you tend to bounce up, okay. Now I will look at here and I will look at historical level here. Do you see it almost corresponds at this point and also at this point? Anything that's tested 2 to 3 times are a good support or resistance line. That is the basic 101, and you gotta know this, okay? So anything that falls and reaches 93 satoshis or 94 per se, it's a good entry point. Okay, so even if you want to be less, you want to take a little bit more risk, okay, and don't want to be so conservative like I do, you could actually put your pricing here around this level. Now at this level, it's tested a few times, mainly here, once, twice, thrice, and 4th time. So at 105 satoshis is a pretty good level, okay? So this is how I actually enter a trade, the layman way. Okay, of course I do look at the candles and whatever not. This will take a little bit more time to explain, but just the basic alone, this is good enough. Okay, and I think most of you also ask me, hey, what's a profit margin you'll be looking at? When would you take profit and so on and so forth. Now, this is the toughest question to ask. Why? Because everyone has a different trading strategy. Ryan has a different trading strategy, so as I, and so as a lot of people in the Telegram chat. So there's no one-way fit-it-all method, alright? But here's the rule that you gotta stick to. Before you even start trading, you gotta establish what is a profit margin. Okay, what are you looking at, right? And it also sometimes, if let's say you're trading full-time, right, and you depend on crypto for a living, and you have to be even more serious about this. You gotta know what's a profit margin on a daily, on a weekly basis. Now, if you don't know, please, right now at this moment, sit down and think about it. This is so important. You gotta start thinking, are you gonna earn, say, 1 Bitcoin a day, 0.1 Bitcoin a day, 0.5 Bitcoin in 1 week? You gotta sit down and gotta start thinking about it. I don't know which country you're from, but you gotta decide on this. This is so crucial, okay? And then once you decide on it, you will know what's the profit margin. So for instance, let's say I bought Dogecoin at 113. For example, okay, 113 satoshis, and then you want to go up to this level, okay, say 140, okay, say 140 satoshis, okay, and I am absolutely happy with it, okay, because it went up by say 28% or 25%, okay, and that's my mark, that's my profit margin. When I hit 20%, I will be disciplined enough to close it, and you stick to your trading plan. Now, the moment you stray away from a trading plan, you fail as a trader. Okay, so this is my school of thought. This is what I've learned from many books. Even if you bought a coin and you got huge profit margins, say 400%, but if you did not follow your trading plan, you will not be consistent in the long run because you let greed play into you. Okay, so long run, you would start losing money. You will start saying, hey, why am I having more losses? Because you set the boundary and you're not following it, and that tends to happen. Okay, so a lot of times people, okay, I'm going to switch back to me. I'm going to share with you one very interesting concept that I've learned. Alright, and I think Ryan loved this part when I was talking to him about that. So a lot of times people love to buy into hypes, right? They love to buy into the next Bitcoin, the next not Bitcoin, the next Bitcoin, the next major coin that's gonna run, gonna rally, get to the moon, and so on and so forth. So most of the time people are trading vertically. Okay, they believe in the next big thing, the next hype, the next Apple, the next whatever. Okay, maybe there's a new coin called Palladium or whatever, okay, and we just go all the way to the north, okay, and we just all into that coin, okay, and you make say 300% and you're really proud of it, and you start publishing that you have earned 300% to everybody, okay. This is trader A. Alright, now talk about trader B. Now trader B is different. He has a trading plan. He knows his profit margin on a daily basis is say 0.5 BTC, which is about 1,000 US dollars. It's pretty reasonable. Okay, good lifestyle. And every single day, he just focuses on one single thing. No matter what trade he takes, he will get 20% returns. No matter what trade he takes, he's going to take 20% returns on a daily or weekly basis. Now this is what we call, or I term it as trading horizontally. This guy, trader B, is consistent for the last, say, 3 months and has been earning 20% on the daily basis. Okay? Now 20% in 30 days, get this, is 600%. 3 months, it's 1,800%. Okay, now this is huge, and you gotta get this theory here. Okay, this is so important. Now let's just say trader B gets this. Okay, 3 months and he makes 0.1 BTC on a daily basis. Okay, for instance, 0.1 BTC reasonable. All right, on a daily basis. Now what it meant is that because he has been so consistent and making 30% on a daily basis, he could up his margin. He could up his trade volume at any point in time. If now, let's say, everything of his trade is he's using 1 BTC or 1 Bitcoin, he's gonna 10 times his profit because he has been so consistent. Okay, so a lot of traders, amateur traders, always look at the hype. They always want the next big thing. Me or seasoned traders, we don't look at the next big hype. Okay, we look at the what's consistent, what's horizontal, how can we make a consistent profit. I'm always looking at consistent profit. I don't care about the next big thing because I know there's always going to be the next big thing, the next big dump, the next big buy and dump. It's always happening in the world. It's always happening, especially in the cryptocurrency world, when it's just beginning at this moment. So any coins can come in right now, shake the world a bit, shake the cryptocurrency, go to the top 10 and 20, but you could never see them in the next 6 months. That's what I'm not into. Okay, I'm into long-term conservative, but yet you have certain portfolios that are more of a higher risk. You gotta balance off your portfolio. That is so crucial. Yeah. Okay, Brian.
Now I want to ask you a question, a technical question. Okay,
Right.
so I think this is also a question from one of the members, right? What's the percentage of, okay, this is from Emery. What's the percentage of Bitcoin that you use in day trading compared to your overall portfolio? So I understand that we are both investing long term into certain coins, but there is a portion that you would use for day trading or maybe speculation, right?
Right.
So how much of, I mean, basically just a rough guide or a range would be appropriate for day trading from based on your kind of trading methods.
Okay. It's a great question. Now, so I've read before, alright, that if you want to have a greater chance of success when it comes to day trading, do consider, especially in Forex, okay, and I think it applies to crypto as well, is to have at least 1,500 US dollars of money that you don't need, and you have a higher chances of success. Now, the reason being, I have some friends or some people asking me, hey, can I start with 100 US dollars? Well, you absolutely can, alright, but the concern is you will always be trying to test the water. Okay, you'll always be trying to test, hey, can I buy Bitcoin this price at 100 US dollars? Yes, you can, but will it appreciate as much? No, it won't. You won't see the big money, you won't get excited about it. So, this is what I believe, alright? So normally I have, okay, so remember at the first part of my section, I actually told you that I have 2 accounts, one in Poloniex and one in Bittrex. This is what I do, okay? It might not be your way, but it's what I do. So, I have Poloniex as my altcoins. Okay, I have about 1 to 2 BTC always in my Poloniex. Okay, and these are all the altcoins trade. Bittrex are all my long-term stable coins that I love. Okay, and I put it in Bittrex. Okay, so got it? Okay, now simple. Now whatever I make in Poloniex, say example I make in X. Okay, let's say I have 1 Bitcoin in Poloniex. And I make excess of it. Say I make 1.2, I got now, I'm at 1.2 Bitcoin per, say, example. I will transfer 0.2 Bitcoin over to Bittrex, example, and I'll use Bittrex to buy into the long-term stable coins. Okay, this sounds so complicated, but I just want to split it out for my ease sake. Okay, so using this, I will get into all the long-term stable coins, and then from there, I will transfer into my Ledger Nano, my Exodus, and different wallets. Okay, and then keep there. and let it appreciate in value sooner or later. So this is what I do. So normally I'll keep about 1 to 2 Bitcoin in exchanges. I won't keep too much because sometimes there's DDoS attacks, there's certain attacks on the exchanges, it slows down my transaction and all. So I want enough for liquidity, but I don't want to get trapped in this trap itself. So I tend to diversify my portfolio. So anything were to happen, I have almost 1 to 2 Bitcoin here in Polo and 1 to 2 Bitcoin in Bittrex. I know I'm safe no matter what happens. Yep.
All right. So basically, would you advise, this is just basically a question that I thought of. Would you advise, people to keep their coins on the exchange? Of course, you already mentioned that. But what if there is those trades that you want to do rather quickly? And of course, as you mentioned, you put one or two BTC there, just so that you can take advantage, right? But based on the fact that let's say for example, I'm starting out, I don't have that much. Maybe 1 or 2 BTC is too much for me, right? What should I do then? Should I because to get the money in and out of the exchanges takes time, and sometimes the price has already moved.
Right.
What should I do, if I'm only having maybe say 0.1 BTC in there?
Okay, great. It's a great question. When I first started up, I was trading in very low volumes as well. I was selling 0.1, 0.01. So it's a great question. Now, and I built my account from there. So, this is what I would do, okay, if only I have 0.1 BTC per se. So this is what you can do, alright? Park that 0.1 BTC, you can halve it, alright? Or you can say 0.8 BTC, okay, 0.08 BTC, you can put it on Poloniex. Another 0.02 BTC, you can put it on your own wallet. So example, Jax, Coinbase, or whatever you have, leave it there, okay? And you will appreciate in time because of Bitcoin prices as well. So then, using that 0.08 Bitcoin, speculate and look at 2 to 3 coins that you're very comfortable with. Now, this is the main thing, alright? A lot of people buy into hypes. Don't be someone who's a hype person. I am never a hype person, okay? Look at the fundamentals of each coin. Know what you're buying. Okay, so I believe in what Warren Buffett says, okay? If you know what you're buying, that's not called risk. Okay, that's called investment. Could
you cut in? Could you define fundamental to the audience? Because this is something that I've always drilled in my previous episodes, but I think it's good to hear from someone else. What does the term fundamental mean?
Okay, now excuse me. Now, fundamentals, okay, there's 2 forms of trading nowadays. There's in fact 3, right? The fundamentalists, the technicalists, and also the combined, what we call the yin-yang, alright? So, the fundamental people look at the fundamental news, okay? Meaning, say, for instance, let's use Forex as an example. I'm very familiar with it. So, take for example, let me use a simple example, say Australia, alright? I love to trade Australia currency. So, let's just say Australia. Australia, it's kind of affected by China news at times, okay? It's dealing in mining. It's closely linked to New Zealand. So when New Zealand's dairy trade prices go down, Australia market gets affected as well. Australia also depends on trade a lot with China, as I say, right? So the Taising manufacturing PMI of China would affect the currency prices of Australia as well. So these are the things what we call fundamentals. You gotta know your facts. You gotta know the things of currency if you're trading. I don't trade things that I don't know. So if someone would come along and ask me, hey, this is Digibyte, you should, okay, for instance, okay, I'm not against Digibyte, disclaimer, I'm just saying. So if someone would come along the way and tells me, hey, there's this new coin called Digibyte, and then same, right, me and Ryan will be the same thing, we'll do the same thing, we'll ask you, so what do you know about Digibyte? Tell us more. And most of the time they'll be like, it has risen by 100%. Okay, and it's speechless. Okay, so me and Brian will be, okay, so what do you know, right? So you gotta be able to tell us more about certain coins. And so for example, let's talk about, say, Golem, right? Golem is a shared computing power system, all right? There's a few competition with it. There's two tokens that's fighting the market with Golem, but Golem is at the top 20. It has been around for the next 2 years, but its development is slightly slower, but it's there. The prices has rallied recently, and I think it's potential to go to this level. See, we are fundamentalists and we are also technicalists. We are looking at the fundamentals. You gotta know your facts. If you don't know your facts, don't tell us what's the next Bitcoin or Bitcoin, right? What's the next big hype? We don't care. We want to know what's good about the coin. You must convince us what's the business model, whether the founders are good, the development team are good, who are the people partnering up with it, is it big banks like JP Morgan, Toyota, what's up with that coin? We want to know what's up. So don't come along with us, don't tell us what's the next big thing, you know, what's the next big coin, should I look at this coin, we can't be bothered by it, to be really honest, because we are only focused on coins that have the true potential where it could go. So that's what fundamental really is. And so I cannot emphasize the importance of fundamental. You gotta know your coins. You gotta know it like, you know, like your own daughter, your own son, your own mom. You gotta know them. Yeah, and that's so crucial in trading. Yeah.
Yep. So guys, it's not that I don't entertain what's the latest ICOs or what's the latest hype coin. I just want to know why is it so hype. And I'm not just being arrogant. I just want you to think on the way we think, and that way you can just make the most informed decisions when opening a trade. All right. So now the next question. Let's go to the next question. Okay. That I wouldn't say is a sidetrack from trading. I think it's very, very important.
Okay.
Now I have a question from Lemon Lime. Okay, so Lemon Lime says, how can you learn about day trading and find coins that are about to rise? Okay, is it all just about knowing the market and making smart predictions, or is there some way to find coins that are on the way up? So it's about probably momentum. Okay, so of course the first part is basically how can you learn about day trading, and the second part is more about when should we play into the momentum plays, like momentum trades. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that would be the right term to use.
Right. Okay. Once again, it's a great question. From Lemon Line. Okay, let me think. Okay, so I gotta go back to the charts. All right, so
Sorry guys, he just left the call. Let him come back, and then we'll come back to it. Give me a second. Let me try to find him. All right, guys. Sorry, we are back. A little bit of a technical glitch over there, but we're back now. So Andy, you can take it away.
okay. So back to Lemon Line's question. Now, when I look at a certain coins, like remember when I first mentioned about the few selection criteria that I have, those are the ones that I always look at, and those are the rules that I play by. Now, of course, a lot of people would then be asking, hey, you know, these are the top 20s, right? I mean, the rankings are always changing. Stratis took over Monero recently, so what's going to happen next? Now, it's impossible for me to tell you what's going to happen next. If I'm an oracle, I won't need to do these videos, right? And I can just be in Hawaii or whatever, right? But here's the thing. You would be able to see certain patterns after a while. Okay, you'll be able to know which coins are fighting against each other and which coins are moving in unison with each other. Now, take for example, there was a time when Ripple and NAM was moving unison. Okay, so they were rising up together towards the third and fourth, and then they started fighting for the position between the third and fourth position. So this kind of thing is what's happening. All right, so there's certain patterns to see. So let's go back to Polo. Okay, so now when it comes to Polo here, now what do I look at, right? I look at the negative. Remember, I always talk about change, right? We also look at the negative side. So as a day trader, I will always be looking at the negatives. Now, I will never look at the positive. I can't be bothered about trades that are making money against Bitcoin. It means it's a hype, right? It's going strong. So, I mean, except for maybe Monero, because I'm in Monero, which is pretty cool, right? So, again, anyway, so look at coins that have perhaps that moves in unison. So remember, I always talk about the top 10 and 20, and then I'll look at coins that are about to go in a huge momentum, and I'll maybe look at Ripple. Okay, now I'm not saying Ripple will, I'm just saying it might. Okay, now, so when I'm looking at Ripple, there's a few reasons why I look at Ripple. Now, the first things first is this. Okay, we are Tuesday right now, today. Okay, and as we move towards the weekend, people will start taking profit of positions. Now, how do you take profit against Bitcoin? You either put it into fiat currencies like US dollars, or you put into other coins, right? Other altcoins. Now, the percentages of people putting in the altcoins is lower, okay, as compared to people that are putting coins in the top 5. Okay, got it? So I would be looking at the top 10, 5 to 10, okay, strong coins, and I'll be looking at them closely because I know that people will take profit of Bitcoin sooner or later because of the recent hype. And it's gonna be tested at 2,800 US dollars, maybe today or tomorrow, and we will see what's gonna happen. If it breaks through over to 3,000, well, it's cool, right? And that means we will get cheaper altcoins. So it all depends on how you look at things, all right? But if let's say I'll be looking at Ripple. Now, why I look at Ripple, think about it. Now, it's the top 3. It's the third, okay? And you can see that Ethereum and Ripple are taking a huge, okay, they are taking huge hit from the recent Bitcoin rise, like today. So most volume are flowing out from Ethereum and Ripple back into Bitcoin. People are actually taking profit. It could be because of FOMO. They are so scared, FUD, and they just kind of just cut losses and get into Bitcoin instead because of the appreciation of value. But there will come a time where Bitcoin will will correct, all right? And I'm looking for that position. So when I'm looking at candles and I'm looking also at Ripple's price, now, Ryan recently has always been talking about consolidation, all right? And I love it too. Like he says, consolidation always means there will be a breakout sooner or later. So when I look at this, I'm looking at this candle, and I'm thinking the potential of where it will drop to, alright? So I'll be looking at anywhere between the positions between 970 Satoshis, or maybe anywhere, if it drops even lower, it'll be at 904 Satoshis. And it has been tested at least 5 times, and I know that this level will definitely survive. So if it's me, I'll get into, let's example, okay? If it's me, I'll take a position around 970, okay, or 950 Satoshis, and I'll wait for this candle, which is very strong, okay? It's called a Matsumobi candle, and it will drop to 950 sooner or later, and it will correct sooner or later when Bitcoin will correct. Okay, so there is a proven, and this is not proven.
Yeah, but by the way, the chart, yeah, based on this, right, it's actually 9,700 Satoshis.
Oh no.
Yeah, because there's a missing 1 decimal place on the chart. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's supposed to be 8 decimal place, but it's okay. It's the chart is like that.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay. So thank you for the clarification, right? So, okay, anyway, so this will be the pricing that I'll be looking at, and these are some of the coins that I'll be looking at. So these are certain things and telltale signs that I know that when Bitcoin were to correct, these are the coins that I'll be looking at, the ones with the strong fundamentals. So someone will also ask me, right, what candlesticks I look at. Now, I would not be bothered about 15 to 30 minutes because they are what scalpers look at. I'll look anywhere between 4 hours to a day. Now, I will also normally look at 1 month chart because it tells me a better story. So let's just talk about ETC, right? Example, Ethereum Classic. So you can see that it's tested already at 5,863. That's 58,600. Okay, anyway, 563, right? I'll just say it at this level first. And when is this level, do you see that the candles are pretty supported, right? It actually went up again. And this is the human psychology point of thing, okay? It's a game of what humans do, right? It's emotion. So people see at this level, hey, wow, you know, ETC is gonna survive, and they buy at this level. This is a common thing that happens for almost everything, and this is where I will get my position, all right? And definitely it will correct sooner or later. So I am not a person that's looking at, say, momentum. I'm not looking at hypes. Momentum is kind of linked to hype per se, but I will always be looking at how the relationship between Bitcoin versus the altcoins, or Bitcoin versus the strong 2 to 3 coins, like say example Ripple, Ethereum, because this is the argument, because Bitcoin is the big brother, right? Anything happens to big brother, it goes up, okay, everything else will suffer. But when it comes down, everything will go back again. So people sell panic losses, they sell everything they have. Instead, okay, me and Ryan will be camping at all these positions, trying to get more better position, and we just ride the wave later on when Bitcoin corrects. So this is how I look at it, and this is how I day trade.
So you gotta be a sniper, guys. When we say day trade, I think we don't mean like every day you need to open a position. Okay,
definitely.
that is the wrong misconception that people think they have to trade and open something every day. Sometimes you just have to wait it out, like what Andy has mentioned. Wait it out, wait for excellent levels, wait for those consolidations, wait for those dips, and then you hit it like really confidently because you have the highest percentage of success, and that's
Definitely.
literally the way we trade, right? So with that being said, right, wow, is there anything else that you'd like to cover, because our video is already 45 minutes long? All right, so there's probably a lot of questions that we could not cover, but I think we covered majority of what's important. And if you're looking forward to hearing more from Andy. Wait, let me switch to my screen first. Okay, so guys, if you're wanting to hear more from Andy, I think it would be good to wait for his channel to get started. I mean, I'm excited for him as well. Where usually he will cover all the technical analysis, and we work together, right? So most importantly, if you guys love this video, okay, and you found that it was of value to you, give it a thumbs up. If you felt for any reason that it was maybe a little bit too long or too complex, I'm sorry, that's the length that it should be, because this is about making money. It should not be short. 5-10 minutes is not possible. And give it a thumbs down for whatever reason. And of course, if you felt that you're going to be supporting the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to click the bell, all right, so that you're going to get the latest notifications from the Crypto Grinder. And of course, eventually when you guys subscribe to Andy's channel, do the exact same thing, right? So Andy, anything that you'd like to any closing statements that you'd like to end off with?
Well, I would say that most of our subscriber, or almost all of you in Ryan's channel, you definitely will benefit from him. I mean, he's a great guy and he's been teaching freely, and he's giving a lot of value. So if you can, do contribute whatever you can to our channel or to even to Ryan. And definitely I'm coming up with a few ideas, a few channels, YouTube channel, and also coming up with my website. I also have my own personal Facebook group that I'm going to advertise as well. Definitely I'm not competing with Ryan's space. We aid each other, we cooperate with each other, and so whatever that me or him lack of, we'll cover up each other, right? So if you need more support, you can find my Facebook group. Ryan's also in my group, and also we will help each other, definitely. So in the long run, I will be appearing on and off on Ryan's video, and I'll contribute to whatever that I can to everyone, to the community, definitely.
All right, so with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Andy, for coming by. And last but not least, remember, guys, share my videos, especially with your friends and family who are interested to know more about crypto. They need to know how to do it right, or how to invest in it right, and not be bought into the hype around cryptocurrencies, because if they get it in wrong, they're not going to want to touch touch cryptocurrencies again, and that is just bad for the community. All right, so thank you so much, Andy, and we're done.
Thank you. Thanks for
having me.
Bye. Yep.